Make sure to like the video, subscribe and press the bell icon.
Hello my dear friends, welcome to this video. In this video we want to learn how to make an application that can track the ISIS location. If you don't know what is the ISIS is the International Space Station. So we want to make an application that could show us the current location of this ISIS live. If you go to this website myscapeart.net/webapps, there you can see a lot of apps, a lot of cool apps which we made. One of them is the ISIS location in JS, and you can click on tutorial to watch the tutorial. You can download the free source code and you can also run it. Let's run it. Let's see how it works. So it's loading, and there it is. This is the current location of the ISIS. As you can see, this shows the latitude and longitude, and it is updating live. As you can see, it's moving. Okay, now you learn how this application works and what's our goal. So now let's go to the Visual Code and start building this one. First of all, I go to my project folder. I make a folder called ISIS location. This icon, which we will use it later on the code. I just need to drag and drop my folder into the Visual Code. Okay, so now we are inside the Visual Code. The first thing I'm going to do is to make an index.html file. This is my index file. First, let's make the HTML5 basic structure. I give it the title ISIS location. Let's run it with live server to see everything. I run it with live server. I divide my screen into half to see everything live on the browser. We're using this live server, which is an extension of Visual Code, which allow us to run the HTML codes live on browser. So that looks good. The first thing we have to do is to import a library. This library is called Leaflet. If you Google it, as you can see, this is the Leaflet website, leaflet.js. This library will allow us to use the map. Here's the documentation. You can see this library have a lot of things to do with. Let's go back to our code. I just need to import this two things into my code. Okay, that's it. After that, once we imported the library, now I'm going to start creating the application structure. So the first thing I'm gonna do is to make a container. Inside this container, I make an h1, which is the title. I call it the ISIS location, and after that I make another div with a class of details. Inside these details, I make that loading text, which is a div with the class of load. Please wait loading. And after that I make another div with a class of latitude, and inside this div I make a label, which I say the latitude. After the label I make a span with the ID of lot, which later we use the JavaScript to display the latitude inside this. And after that we make another div with the class of longitude, and inside this one again we make a label and by the name of longitude with the ID of long. Okay, after that I make the map itself. Okay, the map will be inside the container, not inside the details. So I say a div with the class of the map. The map will be displayed in here. I also gave it an ID of map, and that's it. Now let's go to my project folder. This time I make style.css to give some style to my application. I have to import my style.css. Here I'm gonna link my style.css. Now I go to my style.css and I can give it a style. First I import the Google font library, and after that I select everything and remove the default style, margin padding to 0, box sizing to border box, and font family to Poppins and sans serif. After that I select the body and I give it a background color of this 937 EC7. I display everything in a flex box. I give a padding of 0 and 10 pixel. I align item to center. I justify the content center. I give a min height of 100 VH, and I also give a background, not another background, let's give another color to my background if that looks better. Yeah, this looks better. I remove this color. Okay, after that I select the map itself by ID. I give it a height of 280 pixel. This is very important because the library itself says give your map a height. Okay, I select, let's see what you got. We have the container. Inside the container we have the load. Let's select the load and I give it display block. I give it a font size of 18 pixel and a font weight of 500. I want the JS to remove it later once the code is loaded. That's why I give it a display of block. I want to select my latitude and also the longitude. I want to select them both and give them a display none. I want to hide them right now. You see, it's not showing anymore. After that I give some style to my container, to this one. I select my container and I give it a width of 600 pixel. I give it a background of white, which is FFF. I give it a border radius of 10 pixel. I give it a box shadow. Box shadow is very cool thing which CSS offer you. If you want to know more about box shadow, you can watch my tutorial about this. I put a link on the description. Okay, 0.08, and that's it. I have a nice box right now. After that, from the container, I select my H1 and I give it a font size of 23 pixel. I give it a font width of 500. After that, I give it a padding of 70 pixel and 30 pixel, and I give a bottom border for my header side. So I say border bottom, and I give it 1 pixel solid in this nice color. Now you see we have a nice border at the bottom. We separate the header from the detail side. After that, we select from the container. Let's see what we got. We select the details. From the container, we select the details, and I want to display everything in a flex, and I want to justify content center. Also align the item center. I want to change the flex direction to show everything in a row. I give the padding of 20 pixel, 20 pixel, 14 pixel, and 20 pixel. Now it looks much nicer. Okay, after that, I select the latitude itself. And let's give it some style. You cannot see anything right now, but if I remove this display, you can see that. Let's give it some style. I give the border 1 pixel solid, CSS, border radius 7 pixel, padding 5 pixel, and I give it a margin at the right. Margin the right of 10 pixel. Also give it a box shadow 10 pixel, 10 pixel, 15 pixel, and RGB, and that's it. After that, I want to give some style to the, I just copy paste this one, and now I select the longitude. I want to give it a border, I want to give it a radius, I want a padding. I just remove this margin right, and we have both very nicely. Okay, now let's hide this one now again. Okay, after that, we want to change the labels design. Okay, from the details, I want to select the label, and I want to give it a font width of 500. That's it. And after that, let's see how it works on the mobile device. Select phone. It looks not bad, but we can improve it a little bit. I want to use the add media max width of 700 pixel, and I want the container to which should change to 315 pixel. Yeah, now it looks better. I also want to change the size of this header. So from the container, I want to select H1 and change the font size to 18 pixel and the font weight to 400. Yeah, now it looks much better. Okay, our CSS is done. Now it is time to give our application life or give it action. So let's go to my project folder. I make a script called isis.js. I have to import this one to my HTML file. So before the closing the body tag, I say script, then the source is isis.js, and save that one. Now let's go to my isis. Now everything we write here will change the action in here. Okay, the first thing we have to do is to select our component. So first I want to select the latitude. I say document dot get element by ID. The ID was, let's see what was the ID. Okay, let's put it here. The latitude was lat. Okay, lat. And just like that, I want to select the long and document.get element by ID, and this one is long. This is it. After that, you wanna select the loader, my loader. I call it my loader, and document.query selector. What is it? This is okay with the class of load. So I put a dot for the class and load. After that, I make a variable to show the latitude. I may call it show lat equal to document.query selector, and I wanna select my latitude by class, and just like that I can paste this one. This time I wanna show lan, and I select the longitude with the class. Okay, we have to put our API URL, so I make a variable called let URL, and I put the URL here. Okay, our URL is https://api dot where the is at /v1 /satellite /25544. Let's check it before writing. Let's check it. Yeah, this is the data which our API gave us. Okay, the URL is correct. After that, I'm gonna make a function. I don't want to fetch the data by using promise, but I want to use async functions. So we just write async function. I call this function get ISIS. Okay, inside this function we make a constant of response, which is equal to constant of response, which is equal to await. You have to put this await when you use async functions. Await and fetch. Fetch from where? From the URL. Okay, once the data is fetched, I make another constant. I call it data. Now we have to convert this response to JSON. So I say await response dot JSON. That's how we convert it to JSON. Okay, we can get the data from this data. First, let me console.log the data to show you guys how it looks. If you go to console, say console, refresh, why we not get anything? Okay, I have to run this function. Okay, just like that. Yes, now you see we get this area of data. There we have the altitude, the longitude, and everything you got. We got it by using this API gave us. We can use the alt method to just say data.altitude and just like that, but we want a better way to get multiple data at once, so we just say const, and inside this bracket we say what data we want. We want the latitude and longitude, so we just write latitude comma longitude and longitude, which is equal to data. Now it gets both this data from this API, this latitude and longitude. If you want to get more in one line of code, you can write them in here, just comma and another things. Okay, so let's console.log this latitude. Let's see if it works. Yes, let's console.log the longitude, and yes, it works. That's how we get the data from the API. Okay, now we got the data and everything. Now let's put it inside our application. To do that, I just remove this console. To do that, we have to say lat.text content equal to this lat, not lat, this latitude, this is it. I want to equal that to latitude, and I say lon.text content equal to this longitude. So I just changed the content, text content of this elements to this. Let's save and see. Okay, well, we can see, because we in CSS we have to change one CSS file in here. I say the show, I think it is show lat dot style. This, oh no, the style dot display equal to block. Yes, you can see now you have, let's change both, because we put the display to none on a CSS file. Now you can't see that, so we just want to display that here by changing the display style from the show lat and show lat. Sorry. Okay, as you can see now we have both the latitude and longitude. If you refresh the page, it's changing. You see, we get new data anytime. Okay, after that, what we want to display this thing on the map. We can't see any map right now, right? Okay, to do that, let's make a few things. Okay, first of all, I'm going to go to the top of the page. To make the map, I write a comment here, making the map and tells. Okay, first we make a variable, call it map, which is equal to l.map, and it is equal to map and dot set view, and inside this one we have an array of 0.0, comma 1. If you ask me where I got this one from, everything is inside this leaflet library. If you go to the leaflet website, and if you come here and say click this quick start guide, and there you have the leaflet quick start guide. If you come here, this is the libraries we use. You just copy this and put in our HTML. If you come down, this is the div, this is the style we put on our style. If you come down, this is it. You see, you just copy this one and put it here. Okay, if you count down, there is another thing. So okay, we write everything by our own, but this is good instruction you can follow. If you didn't understand what this thing mean, you can go to this website and read everything from this quick start guide. Okay, back to our code. This one, okay, we made the map itself. Now we have to say l dot tail layer, and tail layer come from a URL which is https // tail open streetmap.org/z/x and /y. Once more, I have to tell you, these things are not important. We just can copy this one from the library guide itself. Let's go back. Let's do it. Let me just copy this one. Why should we waste our time? Okay, let's save. Now we have our map, you see. Okay, after that we have to make a marker. We have to make make the marker and give it, and also you want to give it an icon. The marker is that how can I explain that thing? The thing you see on the map, that's the icon. So we have to make the icon. To make the icon, if you go to the Leaflet library website, go to the documentation, you can go to the marker, and in here you have the code for the marker. You see the L marker, how to add the marker on your code. If you can down, and this is how you can add marker into your code. You can read everything about marker in the website. Okay, let's add a marker by ourselves. We just need to make a constant of my icon, which is equal to l.icon, and inside it we have the icon URL, which is equal to which is the icon of our icon. Okay, inside our folder we have this icon.png. we want that as a marker. Okay, so I say icon.png, comma, I want to set a size to my icon. I say icon size 15 and 32. These are the tested values which I tested before, which works great, and you can put the same thing on your code. icon.anchor, and this is equal to 25 and 16. Let's save. We can see the marker. Okay, we can see because we didn't put the marker inside our map. This is just the details for our marker, the icon and the icon size and those things. To put the marker, you say let marker equal to l dot marker. Okay, I think I can copy this one. Where is it? Are you inside the marker? Go to marker. Yeah, this is it. I can copy this code and put it in here. Okay, but I want to change few things in here. I don't want this value. I want to start my map from 0. So I say 0 dot slash 0. And after that I want one more thing, comma, the icon itself. I want to put my own icon, which is this one, and that's it, I think. Let's save the code, and there you go, we have our icon on the map. But we can also put that pop-up. To put that pop-up, you just say dot point pop up. I give it a text of, for example, the ISIS, and I have to say open pop up to display that thing, pop up. Yeah, that's correct. Let's save it, and now we have that nice ISIS location. You see, if we refresh, we have this nice pop-up. We can close it, and we have our satellite location. But everything is static. We have to refresh the page to change the location. How you can change the location every 1 or 2 seconds? To do that, we have to make an interval. So first I make a variable called xShow equal to 0, and inside my function, where is it? There's my function, the get ISIS. Before this one, I make 2 more variable. I call this first one t, and the second one first time, and is equal to true, which is a boolean. Okay, what you have to do is to before doing that, we didn't put this latitude and longitude on our map. This is not the location, this is the 0 location, which we put in here, where it is. There it is. This is the 0 location. We didn't put this location to our marker. To do that, it is very easy. You just say map.setView equal to, we put our latitude and longitude values in array, latitude and longitude, comma 2. This is the zoom. This is the zoom option. You can change it if you want. Let's save it. Yeah, now we have, you see the zoom. If we change this one to 3, now we have more zoom. If we set it to 1, we have not any zoom. So I put it onto 2. Okay, now we have the current location of the ISS, but we have to refresh every time to get a new value. We want to make it by using the set interval to update everything for us. But one thing you see, if we refresh, it moves to the side. We want to view the satellite like this, but it just zoomed into the center, not into the satellite. To do that, we made this variable called first time. Inside our function, we say, we're using f first time. If this is first time, we put this one and put the first time to false. Okay, now okay, we will fix that later. Okay, we have this t to 0. We have to increase that one, so I say t plus plus, and I wanna remove these things for now. I want to make another function called function load. Okay, inside this load function, I make a constant of ISS interval, which is equal to set interval. Inside this set interval, we give it a time of 2 seconds, and it runs this function. We just copy this function and paste it here. But we also want one more thing inside this load function, which is to put a set timeout for our loading. And I say, let's say set timeout. Okay, in the set timeout, I say 3.5 seconds, and what it does, it runs the load function. And also, let's copy these two things. Okay, let's uncomment this one, the long and latitude. We also wanna select my loader, and change the style dot display to none. And you want to change the x show, which is this variable, to 1. To understand, we change the values. Okay, that's enough talking. Okay, and after that, all I need to do is to run this load function. Save. As you can see, it's loading. It's loading, and we get the live current location. But our satellite, I think, doesn't move. It move, I don't know. Let's see. It doesn't move. We have to fix that one. So it should move. Okay, my friends, I think I found a problem. We didn't put the latitude and longitude to our marker. To do that, we go to inside the function, and after we got the latitude and longitude from the data, we have to put it to our marker. To do that, we just write marker dot set lat and long, which means set the latitude and longitude. And inside this one, we put an array of latitude, comma, longitude. Let's run this function without the loader. We just run this function itself. Let's come in this one and run our function. We see if it works or not. Yes, now we get the location, and this part of the code, which first time, as you can see, now our satellite is in the center of the page. Okay, let's refresh. It's moving, you see, it moved a little bit. Yeah, it's moving. That's how it works. Okay, we want to update everything, so that's why we made this load function. What it does, we first created this interval, ISS interval, and inside this interval we ran the get ISS every 2 seconds, and after that we put a set timeout which only runs once, and this timeout will run the load and change the display of loader to none and the display of latitude and longitude to black, which means it display those latitude and longitude text to the application. We also set this extra to 1, and this one will run after 3.5 seconds. Let's run this load function and save. And as you can see, it's loading. Yes, now we have the latitude and longitude, and we have the live location of the ISS satellite. You see, sorry, not the satellite, the ISS itself. And as you can see, it's moving. It's very hard, but you can see it. See, it is moving. Now we have what we wanted. We built an application that can track the ISS location. You can modify this one and change the icon, or maybe the application container itself, or you can do anything you want. I hope you guys learned something from this tutorial. There's also so many other tutorials in my channel. If you go to this website link, myscapeart.net/webapps, you can see a lot of application we built in this channel. You can get the source code, the tutorial, or run it live on the website. Okay guys, I hope you learned something in this video. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and press that bell icon. Have a great time.